Hello everyone, and welcome to another Miniature Monday. I'm Scott, and today, well, you may have noticed that we're a bit farther away from the camera than normal. That's because I am working on one of the biggest models that I have ever tackled. So, if you give me just 1 second, I will grab this. This is the huge Shipwreck from EC 3D Designs. It came out as part of their Depths of the Savage Atoll Kickstarter, and it is a beast. It has 3 sections, this top one here being where the helm would have been, as well as some skylighting for the captain's cabin. This second level has said cabin interior, as well as what remains of the main deck. And this final piece is the interior and the cargo hold, along with the rocks upon which this ship has gone aground. This entire model was printed on my Ender 3 in 5 parts and took roughly 90 hours to print. The detail on all of the levels is absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to start painting it. If you're interested in learning more about the designer, I will put a link to their page in the description below. We are already primed with a filler primer, and rather than paint all of this wood by hand, I think I've got a little trick up my sleeve. There we are. This whole piece has been primed using Army Painter's Leather Brown Spray Primer. Now, you will note that I avoided painting the rocks here, and that is because they are going to be a gray color anyway, and I didn't want to make more work for myself later on. With that done, let's get to work on the first level. Using Army Painter's Oak Brown, we are going to hit the ribs of this ship. We don't want all of the wood of this ship to be the same tone. Otherwise, even after shading, we're probably going to have a pretty flat-looking piece of scenery. Making the ribs this deeper brown, along with a few other pieces of wood that we want to stand out, this is going to help give dimension to our set piece. Next up is Vallejo's Dark Sea Green. Just a fair warning, I do change my mind on this one. I wanted to give the rocks that darker, freshly hit with water look, and I thought that this color would give me that, but about halfway through I just wasn't satisfied with the results. Then, in a real spur-of-the-moment idea, I decided that the sea green would actually be better suited for a different effect. Remember, painting is a creative process, and you should let new ideas come to you at any time. So, halfway through painting these rocks, we abandon our original color to switch things up. Moving over to Vallejo's London Grey. You can see here that we are getting a much lighter stone tint, and I have to say I was far happier with these results. I had realized that I was going to put a pretty dark wash on top of this eventually, and I didn't want that to get lost in the already dark base layer. And as I said, I had plans for the original color. Now it's time to go back to the dark sea green. Now this time we're going to use it to add some hints of rot to the ship. To do this, I'm doing sort of a heavy dry brushing, where I'm not brushing all of the paint off before hitting small areas all over the hull. I think that this added a whole new feel to the ship and really starts to tell a story. Now onto our shading, and we're going to start with Citadel's Athonian Camo Shade. Now this is going to be our powerhouse for this model. We're going to use it on every piece of the ship. The hull, the ribs, the rudder, all of it. The only thing we won't touch will be the rocks. Now I'm going to be honest, I went through maybe a third of a pot of paint during this process. But, you know, we have paint to use it, and the sickly green that this adds really helps with the feel of this wreck being lost at sea. Next, we are going to use Citadel's Drakenhof Nightshade for shading on the rocks. You can see that as soon as I start applying this, the original gray darkens dramatically, so thank goodness I switched to our lighter color. This wash adds a very nice deep blue to our base, and for me gets pretty close to that ocean-washed rock look. And with that, our first level is finished. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Evan over at EC3D Design. This model is gorgeous, and I am enjoying every moment working on it. If you are into 3D printing or tabletop gaming, I highly recommend looking into this set. Now, while this was the largest level of the model, the other two pieces have quite a few more details that are going to take some extra care. So we're going to have to cover those in another video. Check in next week for part 2 of our Shipwreck build. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm always interested in feedback and love new techniques with painting. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Scott, and I will see you at the next Miniature Monday.